Oh my god. Oh my god, I have been silent this entire time. Thanks, Sisaki, for letting me know. This is extremely embarrassing, but there has been no audio, even though I've been speaking so much. Ooh, okay, so I will have to start over. I ruined a lot of this stream, but it doesn't matter. I guess I'll make a video later just to sum up what happened, though I don't really need to. Okay, first of all, something I just noticed, take a look at this. If you tell Emperudra Blue Valley, which is, by the way, one of the keywords that they specifically highlighted for you to ask, he just shouts Blue Valley, which is really cool. Okay, so back to what we were doing. Let me quickly catch you guys up on everything that you missed because of me forgetting to turn my microphone on. So embarrassing. So I created this character a good while back, and as you can see, my fist fighting right now should be around 77. I think it's 74 base, no, 72 base, 2 loyalty and 3 from items. So I've been skilling this character on the troll trainer boss on Dawnport for quite a while. That's why we are going to just rock everything. It's going to be an Ironman. I know it's not called like my other characters, but I just figured a monk requires a nice pun for his name, which is why we have a Saint Job right here. Yeah. For those who don't know the joke, Saint Job, basically Job could be considered a name, but Job is also a sort of a quick punch. And also in Morrowind, the Elder Scrolls, there's this character, his name is Juib. You'll meet him pretty much at the beginning of the game, and he appears throughout the other parts, Oblivion and Skyrim as well. And you learn that he became a saint. His name is Saint Juib, and I am Saint Job, which is pretty close, in any case. Probably not as impressive as I think it is. Alright, so what we have here is this guy, Emperudra. If we ask him about the Blue Valley, he's going to yell about it. I'm not sure if that is everything we need to know, but I'm just going to have a nice look around this place. Hey Rahim, if you have any idea what I am supposed to be doing now, then I would appreciate that, because, you know... Okay, so this is a... Oh no, it's a fist fighting skill trainer, and it's just a regular weapon skill trainer, but they deleted the weapon. Right, so the monk, I'm not sure what to think about him just yet. You probably maybe saw that first becoming a monk thing in Dawnport, all of those stupid statues that you had to visit. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of those. And they are Emma, let's see. Do we have anything? Pilgrimage. Your initiate. You have visited the first of the shrine. The next step, embracing guidance, will lead you near the bustling city of Dice. Travel there by using one of the guardian statues dotting the valley, just like the ones over there. So do I just press this? Okay, I do. And what we have is Guidance of Hope, and I press it, I get 300 experience and some OP boots with fist fighting bonus. Yeah, that's... Do I need to explain why I don't like this? Yeah, traditional boots worn by pilgrims of the Threefold Path is designed, it features elements of the natural appearance of moths. Okay. Can I just... Oh yeah, I can just teleport back instantly. Is this limited only for monks? Because if so, then I wonder how this works in PvP. Can you just press this instantly and teleport away from any danger from multiple spots? Let's see. Okay, so we can just press those statues anytime, and we have access to the spell teacher as well as healing and the fist fighting trainer. That's cool. And I suppose this is just where we spawn, right? And we go fight stuff. And there's tents over here. That's interesting. That wasn't here before. Hector the Mentor. Oh wait, I think this is this new area that they prepared a while back. Okay, we found the Dwarven Ring. That's really useful. It's one of those searchable crates that restock every once in a while. Do we have to speak with mentor? So what Sipsoft did a while back was they added a new training area, but to be honest, I don't think we want to take it out right now. It's bound to be extremely crowded with other people right now. So we are just going to move on. We are high level anyway, we're level 14. I don't really remember what you are supposed to be doing at level 14. Especially since I don't even know where to get any items for monks. If I were playing normally, I would be going for like a scale armor or anything like that right now. But I don't think as a monk you really care for that, since this is probably not going to get replaced anytime soon, right? It's 6 armor, right? It's not very high, but it's also a lot of additional damage with that fist fighting bonus. Yeah, we can one-shot a troll right now. So I say we should just move to some place where we can make some money and yeah, pretty much just that. Let's keep in mind we are still a free account. I don't know if I'll be going premium or not on this character anytime soon. We'll see how much fun it is, but I am quite skeptical when it comes to monks so far. Despite Sipsoft's promises that it's going to be, you know, seamlessly added to the world, it very much feels like a DLC. Alright, my first idea is we should go and check out the Undead Monsternum. It's probably a good idea, but we are a little bit low on potions and everything. Whatever, we're just going to hit the place, see how we do. We got some pretty good skills, right? That's 78 fist fighting, we have 2 spells and a healing spell. We just need to grab a little bit of food from the wolves over here, and we should be fine. So I've been looking at Wikipedia, which is something I always do when I plan my monk, new character adventures. And for monks, a lot of the items just don't really have a source. So you either have to complete those quests or buy these items from an NPC. I don't really know what to do right now. There's probably a bunch of those shrines hidden all over the place, right? Where you can just superpower your character with these special drops by right-clicking shrines. Might be a good idea to take a look at Wikipedia. Hello? Why can't I search the wolf? There we go. Yeah, might be a good idea to just take a look at Wikipedia and see where we can find all the items. I have no doubts that a lot of those won't be achievable on a free account, but we aren't exactly going to go very far right now either. It's just a quick showcase stream. I'm here to decide if I'm going to be playing or not. Also, as you can see, we have a special outfit. This is not one of the base outfits, it's from the store. I was lucky enough to win one of the Sipsoft contests and I received a reward, a bunch of Tibia coins, so I just spent a number of them on this skin so that we look a little bit cool at least. Yeah, so maybe we should start using our skills. So by just spamming, oh, free spears, very nice. By just spamming the swift jab, which we can do every other turn. And it seems to consume only 3 mana, so there's no reason not to do this. That's really crazy, 3 mana for a skill that deals how much damage? Yeah, we won't find out right now, because we can one-shot everything. I might be a little bit too strong right now. There we go, 20 damage every single time. That's really strong. And let's see what happens if we now having full harmony as the Tiger Clash. I'm going to assume he's going to spend all of our harmony in order to do a superpowered hit, but I might be mistaken on this. Obviously, we don't want to waste our special attack on something unnecessary, so let's just clear these snakes out. There we go, magic level 13, that's pretty high. Details for snakes, and there should be werewolves right over here. Oh yeah, all of our harmony is gone, and we did a nice strong hit. Werewolf 4 probably useless to us. But yeah, we're vibing. There we go. Shaman, destroy him with Tiger Clash. He heals a lot, but we can just overpower him easily. Yeah, so on one hand it's pretty nice that they added this special stuff that you can do on Dawnport, right? Oh wait, you guys probably missed all that thing because I forgot to unmute my mic. So basically there's the base stuff that you get that has like 10 attack on Dawnport when you become a monk, and then you can get an upgrade which has like 12 attack, which drops from Dawnflies. We were going to drop it, but we missed it, and I became a monk instantly, and as you can see we got an even better version, so we would be wasting our time trying to get that. It's pretty lucky that we didn't. Okay, we have a bit of food on us. Probably should be enough for now. We have a couple of options where we should go right now, and I think that the Undead Mount Sternum is probably our best shot. I wish we had a little bit more mana potions. Also, I don't think did we lose all of our gold? I can recall us having some gold on us, at least before we became a monk, but there's a chance we've been robbed or anything. Yeah, we had a full inventory of items, but they just replaced them. I had a bunch of potions stored up and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a big shame. So I'm going to go back to the city, take a look at our bank account, see if we are missing anything, and then we just try to find some sort of hunting ground that isn't exactly too crowded. Because, as you can probably imagine, there's going to be a lot of people starting over on fresh characters, be it monks or other characters just designed to support them. I wonder how high we are when it comes to fist fighting, because we're definitely... So Sakura, monk, and not experience points, because that's going to be outrageous, definitely, but fist fighting. Submit, and let's see, there should be an option to see our rank. Can't see it right now. So top people have like 82 and we are at 72, so we should be on the first page actually. Are we? Are we not? We might not, I don't think. Maybe we need to relog since we have only recently become a monk. Let's see. Once again, not settings, but high scores. All vocations, monks, not experience points, but fist fighting, submit. Yeah, I don't see us, even though we should be there. Maybe the high scores take a moment to update, because we are very definitely at 72 fisting. Okay, the depot is absolutely flooded. Do we have anything inside? Of course we don't. But let's deposit some of this junk that we don't need right now. And next up, let's see our bank account. What do we have here? 189 gold. Okay, so if only we would deposit all of our stuff, we wouldn't be absolutely poor right now. Okay, so let's go get on with our plan. I think right now the best idea would be to try to get into Undead Mount Sternum. I'm going to try to go for the Cyclops, and I hope that doesn't kill us, because those might be tough at our level, but then again we have a lot of fist fighting. We might be able to just overpower them. Keep a close eye on how fast we can regen our stamina. And by stamina I of course mean mana. Yeah, it's pretty quick. I don't know the exact trait, but it seems pretty much on par with Paladins. Considering there's a hit that has a free mana cost, wow. That's going to come in handy, definitely. Yeah, so due to overcrowding, we have to forsake Sipsov's intended training area. I think there was a lot of controversy around that place. Mainly because they meant it for new players, right? To experience how the game is played, just to see for themselves. And as soon as it released, a lot of high-level players trolled the place just to, you know, get the bestiaries done for these items. Pretty lame, if you ask me. Okay. It seems that nobody has been here for a while. This place should be teeming with Cyclops. Let's see how we do. Yeah, we're taking some hits. Oh, there we go. We started hitting finally. There we go. Oh, we have a critical hit. Since when? Whatever. And a halberd. We are going to keep that. It's definitely worth some money. And I can already see that we will need some more. Oh yeah, people hunting invisible. That's so lame. But he doesn't have a high enough fist fighting, so he's going to suck. But he definitely has some sort of strong weapon. Have you seen that? He just hit 57. Yeah, sorry guy. I was being hit by that, I'm not going to just ignore it. Okay, so this is the Graveyard of the Doomed. That's not the added monsterdom, it's just a single area. But all we have to do is go a little bit deeper, and then we should be good. Yeah, there's a plate shield. Yeah, I'm just going to go full defense. I don't think you wanna be killing any Cyclops right now. And there we go, there's skeletons. That's what I like to see. Now there seems to be somebody cruising around. There's a lot of fresh corpses. Maybe we should move to Minotaurs, perhaps in the Horned Fox hideout. We'll see. These places are connected, so we can just move over there at our convenience. Yeah, ghouls are going to be way better for us right now. They drop a lot of gold. So we should pretty quickly get our balance up. Right, so I was going to tell you some stories about everything that transpired while I was trying this character. As you can see, I have a decent skill. To be honest, I was hoping it would be a little bit higher, but apparently not. The best way to train on Dawnport, at least the most convenient way when there isn't something going on, just like with the Monk release, has to be the Salamander Trainer. He's a troll boss, he has an automatic healing skill, so basically you just stand there, he heals himself, you hit him over and over. He doesn't have that much damage, but he has good defenses, so you are able to just, you know, as with any other good training method, like monks or enraged deer. However, because of Monk's upcoming release, there was a lot of people training on that guy. And as always, whenever there's a lot of people in Tibia in a single spot, they are going to start arguing between each other. It was no different here. So the place turned into a battleground really quickly. And some of the things that people did was just insane. So imagine this, right? We're standing there. I just arrived like 2 days after the announcement, when I made sure that the monk is going to be using fist fighting, because it was just speculation at the time. As soon as it was confirmed, I decided, okay, I'll make a character and start skilling it in my free time, which is what I did, as you can see. However, there was already some people skilling there. I went up, said hi, a lot of them were really nice guys. But then, as usual, some weirdos started arriving, and let me tell you, it was really crazy. So imagine this, there was one guy, I think he was from Sweden, really nice dude, talked to everybody, said hi, tried to be nice as much as he could, and he had, I think his wife or girlfriend also start playing Tibia at the time, and she would stick around on Dawnport for a long time, just to support our skilling. She would spend gold to buy food for us and bring it to us so that we could continue training our magic level. And there was one guy who decided that for some reason he's going to be mad at us, not ask me why, he just was sort of out there, you know. And I probably don't need to tell you which country he was from, we can all guess that from context. So he just shows up and we get into conversation. He's a little bit rude. He doesn't want to switch his class from knight to paladin or sorcerer, so the boss is taking too much damage, so he's dying over and over, and of course he's the only person who can switch his class because we are all sorcerers at the time. Yeah, I won't get into details, it's going to sound like complaining more than anything else. But what happened with the guy is, at some point we just got fed up with him. We started, you know, flaming him a little bit. And as soon as that Swedish guy's wife arrived to bring us some food, he decided that no, there will be no food, and he started tossing it all into the water. So, you know, nobody was getting anything. Can you imagine that? The dude could have just left the food alone, and he would be able to use it, eat it, level his magic level as well. But no, we were a little bit mean to him, so obviously he had to retaliate, right? And unfortunately that wasn't a separate case of weirdo doing weird stuff. These things, they happened all the time. I think there was cases of like 4 or 5 people who were absolute troglodytes. One of my favorite moments though, there was this one guy who was skilling from pretty much day 1, and he was skilling a lot. I think his nickname was Lowy or something like that, doesn't really matter. Any case, the guy would skill pretty much daily for multiple hours. He was definitely one of the top fist fighting players out there, of course, save for the guys who trained it before. But when it comes to future monks, he was definitely in the very, very top. And there was a bunch of guys, also from Poland, who took issue with him. I have no idea why, but you know, they just clashed. And well, it just so happened that Lowy, apparently he was a bot because he got banned. And here's the funniest part though, it doesn't really matter what happened to Lowy. I have been there from time to time, right? I wasn't really too hardcore on skilling. Hey Kyle, hey, good to see you again. I'm glad to see you're fine. So what happened with the guy was, he was accused of botting, he got banned, so he probably was up to something. Those other people have seen me a lot of times, together with Lowy, skilling at the same time. He was also probably banned for multi-accounting because he created another account to bring food to himself. Yeah, so was he a bot, was he a multi-account? I won't speculate. Case in point, he was banned. And those other guys who were beefing with him for whatever reason decided that I have to be his alternate account. He was multi-accounting on 3 accounts, 2 got banned, I'm his 3rd account. And how do you fight against somebody who just decided, yeah, he's lowy? You know, they started trolling, I started trolling them back, telling them stuff that probably led them on a little bit further. It was a lot of fun, but at some point they decided, okay, let's all report him because he's definitely lowy. And here's my question, right? Because obviously I wasn't lowy, but if I were, why would they report? Like, what were they reporting for? Right? That's the weirdest thing to me. Those guys, somebody got banned once, so he is obviously illegal and can't play the game again. Oh well. Yeah, so their surprise when I didn't get banned on the next day was, well, to be honest, nothing special. They just assumed I'm him, but nothing really happened. In any case, after that incident, I decided not to train on the Salamander trader anymore. I would just go to Wharves or something. There was nobody there. So much chiller. And probably better skill per hour if I really wanted to skill high. I did not. I've been mostly chilling. Alright, so we are going to make our way to Horned Fox hideout. Hopefully that place is empty, I don't know. So right now it's free account, but I might go premium. There's it's all depending on how much I like the monk class. And to be honest, right now it just feels like a knight with extra steps. We'll see where this goes. I don't exactly have any plans. I've been skilling this character because I could, but if I am completely honest with you guys, I'm having way more fun playing Ironclad again, ever since Yalahar is released again. I've been working on the next video. Unfortunately, it's taking longer than I anticipated due to some stuff happening. So yeah, it's been a while since I said I won't be promising any time frames, so I won't, but there might be a video coming soon. A huge update on Ironclad. You know, Yalahar was open for free accounts, so there's a lot of stuff to do, as you can imagine. And I already did some of the stuff. I would love to update you on that, but I cannot promise exactly when. So the idea, yeah, I probably should showcase the character again. So this is an Ironman skilled monk, no restrictions other than basic Ironman rules. So what I'll be doing is, I won't be trading with other players, I won't be receiving any sort of help from other players. I will be avoiding buying from shops as much as I can, aka if there is an item that can be obtained from shops only, or if it's potions, then I will be purchasing it. If it is gear or something I can drop otherwise, then I won't be purchasing it. Yeah, pretty much it. Won't be picking up items from the ground dropped by other players. I'll be trying to keep the things as single player as possible. Basically, the idea is to get everything by myself, for myself, and have a nice, fun adventure along the way. Yeah, 1 pixel too much wouldn't know anything, definitely not. But yeah, I've been busy with other things. It's not like I couldn't do the video, but I'm really bad at sticking to my schedules. As much as I would love to release videos on a timely manner, I just don't do that. No excuses. yeah, so we can either go Minotaurs. Of course, we are going to do Udric's quest first, or rather pick it up so that we can finish it eventually. And if Horned Fox hideout is taken by players, then we will simply, I don't know, kill dwarves in one of the mines. Those are such niche areas that I doubt anybody is going to mine. Or be there. That matter. So yeah, I've been putting some hours into Ironclad. He has had some upgrades, but I won't spoil it too much. As soon as I got one of the upgrades, I decided that wow, this is going to be very quick if I really like grind it out. So I decided that I'll do something else, you know, just to create an additional episode for no reason at all. And that has absolutely drained my soul, but I don't want to quit on it, so it's just going to take a little bit longer. Okay, Melfar, you're not Bullrig, right? You won't be giving me any missions. Okay. Where is Bullrig? That's an excellent question. So, first of all, you probably already noticed I have been on maximized ambient light, which I don't want to do. There we go. There we go. What I have is this Galahari lamp that you can find in Dawnport. It's some old Ironman tech that we realized a while back. Basically, in Dawnport, next to Morris, every now and then you'll be finding a shelf which has this little lamp sitting on it. It's really cool, gives small amount of light but never runs out. You can turn it off and on. Weighs 10, which is not incredibly much considering you have an endless source of light. It's always worth to pick it up if you're an Ironman and you want to play with ambient lights turned off. I had it on because obviously when I was skilling I just wanted to have a full situational awareness. There was a lot of people doing a lot of weird stuff, you know, luring salamanders, moving boxes. It was a battlefield. And I'm lucky to have stayed alive. Actually, not even, because I died once, I think. Alright, I think this is where Melfar is, where you can get the quest. But it's been a while since I picked it up. Wow, can't speak anymore even. Who do we have here? Melfar, or is it Budrik? I think it's Budrik. And that's him. There we go. So let's see. Hi. Mission. Yes. And we are on our way to get the 600-year-old. Whatever. Back to Budrik. Mining helmet. That's it. Alright. I said it as soon as I started the stream, but like I mentioned before, I forgot to turn the microphone on. Let me know if the music is too loud or too quiet. In case it's too quiet, just be informed that there is music on this stream. But it has been incredibly quiet in that case. So yeah, if anybody is ever interested in skilling on Dawnport when a new Vocation releases, which isn't likely to happen anytime soon, but just don't. It's a terrible experience. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? There's a dead bat, I see fresh blood. There's a good chance that there's somebody hunting around here. There we go, Batwing. one thing reminds me that there's this whole area with a wizard called Ecclesius up of Pines, where you can do a bunch of cool quests. That's something I always liked to do when I started a new character. Maybe we should look into that. His like daily tasks, as well as a whole quest line where you help him with an experiment. Maybe we should look into that. That's like maximum couple hours work. Okay, this is looking promising. Doesn't seem to be anybody around. Let's kill the guard first. Use the fact that our skills only cost 3 mana to cast. We are dead. Wow. Yeah, we definitely aren't prepared for this area, but I want to finish the quest at least. Maybe we should have started with archers. They're like 2 hits. We might even be able to completely ignore the guards. We are lucky enough. Yeah, that's a lot of guards. I hope we don't die right now. But I want to be done with the quest. Oh yeah, we are way in over our heads. But I'm just going to... Ooh, what should I toss? Ghoul snacks, get the mining helmet. We still have a couple of healing potions, so we are going to pop one right now, pop another right now, and we are going to die anytime now. Drink. Potion, wow. Yeah. Ooh, we are definitely not prepared for this area. We have no potions left, but we have the helmet, which is everything we needed. Yeah, I should have known it was going to go this way. It's been a while since I have been this low level in Tibia. I mean, not exactly. I've been cruising around the different open Tibia servers, old school ones as well, which are way more hardcore than whatever this is. This is such a shame, by the way, the direction where Tibia went. Just chugging potions every turn. No planning, no nothing involved. If only there was some sort of an OTS or maybe even a standalone game built on Tibia-like engine that involved, you know, just running around dungeons with limited supplies. Music is a little bit too loud. Okay, allow me to turn that down for you right now. Maybe even a little bit more. No, that's too much. There we go. That should be fine. Let me know if the music is cool now. Here's the thing, I have a very specific microphone, which is infamous between the community, which I didn't know because I wasn't part of the community before I bought the microphone. In any case, it is hard to make it sound good. If I were ever serious about my streamer career, if you could call it, I would probably buy a new one, but as things stand now, I don't care. Alright, mission. I said mission with double S, there we go. There we go, we got the spare helmet, it's 1 armor, it gives us light. I'm wondering if it is the same light as small lamp. Yes, it is, right? It seems that way at least. We're going to go somewhere dark. Oh yeah, it's probably the same. In any case, it's trash, but I am going to keep it. It's really fun. I like the idea of mining helmets. I wish it was a little bit more armor. Just 1 isn't enough to justify wearing it. Probably was back in the day. And that reminds me, I did not do the most important thing, which is talking to Budrik again and getting, you know, the real quest from him, the one that we are after. So, the higher level Minotaurs absolutely handed our butts to us. My next idea is we should go to Folda. That's a famous low level area. Let's do that, just explore a bunch of low levels places that we can enjoy. See where it takes us. Or maybe we should look into those statues and get a little bit more of monk gear. Give me more missions, man. Yeah, I'm willing to kill 5,000 Minotaurs. Budrik is really overreacting, by the way. Have you ever been like, hey, this person stole a helmet from me, so let's kill 5,000 of them? Oh my god, that's going to get me destroyed and removed from YouTube. I don't even need to name any particular group of peoples to get in trouble for that, but you know what I mean, right? And I know that dwarves and minotaurs in Tibia have been at war for the longest time, but still, just asking somebody to kill 5,000 is pretty nuts. There, you are too far away, I'm not going to chase you. I'm going to eat my meat and enjoy myself. Should we take a shortcut through the Goblin Hills? Probably not, I've always hated them. What do you mean Vorka? 5k or 6 million? I'm not sure I get it. Is it related to something I was saying? Definitely not, I wouldn't say anything like that. Ever. Okay, Henrik. I think we know what to do. Since we're like borderline on the topic of politics, have you guys seen that stupid meme that the Chinese did with pictures of American people working, like manufacturing stuff that are usually Chinese jobs, just sewing or putting together iPhones? That stuff's crazy. We are living in some very interesting times. I'm just really hopeful that it doesn't escalate too much, which it obviously will. We're all dead, but let's keep hoping as long as we can. Oh my, that turned into a pretty dark thing. It was supposed to be a chill stream, and I probably gave everybody anxiety right now. Yeah, don't worry about it, everything is going to be okay. We are going to be fine. Alright, please ignore those suspicious X's on my map. It is a part of the character that would have been a part of this short series that I did on challenges that I gave up on. Except I did not give up on that one, so it's going to be finished someday. It's just that I think it's pretty heavily relying on being premium right now. It was also relying on the guild house that we had over there in Northport, which we don't have anymore because unfortunately our Ironman guild got dissolved. Here's the thing though, I'm not afraid of nuclear explosions because just like you said, it's going to be instant death, which is horrifying, but at the same time pretty nice, right? What I don't want to happen is us getting drafted and dying slow deaths, or worse yet, surviving and living to tell the tale, you know? Yeah, but let's not worry about all that. World War III is not going to happen. Just listen to my calming voice. We are going to be fine. Everybody's going to survive. We are going to have kids, wives, and enjoy our lives until we retire. At the age of 70. Oh my god, there is no hope, is there? Okay. Let's get back to depot. Let's eat more of our meat if we can. We cannot, we are full. We got a little bit of money. We definitely need to spend it all on potions. We can't survive as we are right now. Yeah, wives in plural. Because some people want multiple wives. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Imagine having more than one. I wouldn't survive. Okay, minnow leather. We are going to bring all of our food. We don't need pelvis bones. We don't need that dwarven ring. That should be enough for now. Okay, I definitely did not mean to exclude our good friend and buddy, Mr. Iron Steven the Gay. Wives / husbands / lifelong partners. And magic store, is that where you buy potions? Let's see. Distance store, druid spells. Yeah, magic store seems like it. Can we move to some topics that are not going to get my channel deleted? I know it's not huge, but I've been working on it for a long time now and I'm pretty attached. Hi. Trade. There we go. So what I'm thinking is we are going to get 2 health potions, which are going to be our emergency heal, right? Would use on yourself, there we go, in case we die. And then everything else into mana potions, all of 8 of them, and if we are ever in trouble, we are going to use them, but hopefully never, right? We are hoping for a nice, chill hunting session in Fulda. Do we have enough money to go to Fulda? Worth mentioning? Well, if you're into old school Tibia, and currently it is probably the most accurate OTS out there, there's Tibiara, which is basically Tibia and RA at the end. They launched pretty recently and the game was fun. I'm just not into PvP, so I never went to main. I got level 20 on Rook Guard and got bored because there was nothing to do. And there is also something that my good friend Pop has been working on, but before that's ready, it's going to be quite a while, but that's probably one of the most exciting Tibia related things. I mean, originally I don't think it's going to be Tibia related at all once he's done with it, but in any case, yeah, he is working on something really nice, but I can't get into details until we get some more info. And there's also my good friend Vance, who has Vance OTS. I think you can find it on OTS list. It's just 7.4 plus with expanded Rook Guard and stuff like that. Wait, that's Dalbrecht. I don't want to talk about the game. I want to find the rafts. Where is the rafts? Further north, is it? Oh yeah, there it is. And of course you cut me off. Yeah, so Vance OTS, it's also 7.4-ish with a bunch of additional content. It's fun, especially if you just want to play alone on an old school server. It's very low population. You know, nobody interrupting you, you just get to play the game as it was, but without the crowds, without queues to kill a skeleton. Yeah, exactly, that's why I don't want to give too much details out right now. Just like Pop says, there's a nice project going on. I have huge hopes for it. Let me just say this. it has been a while since I played a game that drew me in so much, and it's based on Tibia engine, but goddamn, it's nothing close even. It's the best parts of Tibia, and well, I don't want to get into too much details, like I said, not until it is made public. I'm sure that as soon as it is, I'm not only going to be streaming this game, everybody is going to want to have a taste. Alright, Mr. Nilsson, hi, Olda. Yes, there we go. We have 19 gold left, so we have to make some money before we get back. We are not trying to try wyverns, we are, despite being overskilled as hecky, we are not ready. And it seems somebody's hunting here, which is incredible. Wait, what? What is this place? Don't tell me that there is a monk quest here. There's no way, right? Yeah, sealed, but I don't know. This little red dot over here, it looks a lot like a shrine. This could very much be a goddamn shrine. I don't know, I don't like this, to be honest, between all of us. It's just slapping additional stuff on old content. I know, it's just classic. It used to be different, I don't like it now. Kind of whining. But at the same time, I can't help but feel that the new class, the new vocation, was added just so, you know, some people join in back again, spend some money, hopefully. I mean, obviously, they're a business, sips of time in. But there's also businesses who make decisions that feel good, right? And this, I don't know, look, this is a platinum amulet, plus it gives you armor, it gives you mantra, whatever that is, and +1 fist fighting. And we got that at level, well, we could have gotten that at level 8, we are level 14, but that's my fault for skilling for a long time. I don't like this one bit. And the worst part is, I don't even know how to progress, right? There is no information. Maybe I should have spoken with the NPCs a little bit more, but I don't know how to get back to that Monk Island or whatever that is. Should I just get back to Southern Ties and press the shrine again? Yeah, I don't think Tibia creatures can afford to act intelligent. I mean, when you're a Tibia creature, right, the optimal tactic is to just 9-box somebody as soon as possible and try to inflict maximum damage. And this is how most players already play. So, even if the creatures were eager to always retarget to druids, knights have spells that make them always target themselves. And stuff like that. It's not the kind of game that is supposed to be difficult to solve when it comes to combat encounters. Okay, so it seems there's nobody on Volda. There's probably that weird shrine over there, I can't really say. So I'm thinking, should we switch back to Ironclad and spend some time playing some good old free account night? Or do we wanna keep walking around Volda, just aimlessly leveling the monk? I think once we get some more information on how to progress monks, we might get interested again. But at this point I feel like it's just hopeless, right? We are going to get some levels. That's going to be it. I don't even feel like chasing that frost troll. Then again, there's not much stuff we can do on Ironclad. Yeah, sure. Let's get back to my free account night. I don't think I'm having any fun doing this right now. Yeah, the current Tibia theory, just like you say, Theox, it is all about numbers. You don't want to create difficult encounters, you want to create an environment where players can maximize their XP per hour. That's what they are doing right now. So, amulet and boots, you say. The amulet is something you get as soon as you become a monk on level 8. It gives you the same bonuses as Platinum Amulet plus Mantra, still no idea what that is, as well as +1 fist fighting, which is insane. And the boots, 1 armor plus 1 fist fighting, probably best pulls you can get until way later into the game. Also something you can get on level 8, by the way. As soon as you leave the Monk Island, you get teleported next to a shrine, which is part of the pilgrimage, and you get the boots. And there's also this armor, which you get also as soon as you become a monk. So we are basically running around in starter gear. I don't like it very much. I already looked at the wiki. There isn't many upgrades we can have. I am frankly going to skip playing monk for now, and we are going to get back to our knight. And this is our little project that I've been working on. So please ignore my leg slot, or should I say foot slot, the steel boots. Everybody can probably get a pretty good guess where did they come from. I'm not going to get into details. Let's get back to our knight setup. There we go. Yeah, that's what I wanted. A bit more strong mana potions. Oh yeah, I know about Medivia. It's not really my cup of tea. It's a little bit too customized, if you know what I mean. It's trying to be old Tibia, but at the same time, I don't know. What I don't like about Tibia at all is the whole feeling of Dominando and all of that stuff. I think we can all relate to that. Okay, we are out of oil. Let's light that lamp, throw away the vial. There we go. Okay, so what I've been working on Ironclad so far is I decided arbitrarily that I would like to have 1000 life rings before I do anything else. As you can see, we already dropped 277 in this session. I reset the counter, especially for this grind. We already had a number of life rings on us. So what we are going to do for the rest of the stream, which is going to be like around an hour maybe, because I am kind of sleepy, we are going to be running around the deepling caves, slapping the living shit out of these deeplings, and we are going to be grabbing life rings over and over. I hope that sounds like a fun idea for a stream for you guys, because it does to me. There we go, 278 life ring. A life ring, for your information, is roughly around 1 in 50 kills on deeplings. So if you guys want to keep track, let's just count. Right, okay, I don't want to reroll because, no spoilers, but one of those creatures on that list is my next combat mark. You can probably guess which one, but again, I don't want to get into too many details because Ironclad is supposed to be mostly a video character on it, as in on Ironclad or on my monk. When it comes to monk, I have 73 fist fighting, which isn't terrible. And as for this guy, so I have a very high axe, which I have been skilling a lot, but I don't actually want to continue using axe because as soon as the free account expansion released, so we get access to Yalahar, axes became a little bit irrelevant. And the strongest weapon that you can have as a free account Ironman Knight is a sword. And by strongest, I mean it's the same attack value, except it has higher defense. And not by a big margin, but still by a margin. So considering I want to create the ultimate free account knight, which I had for a moment, we have to switch back to swords, which is why I'm using a giant sword right now. And fun fact, I have a lot of giant swords. They aren't really difficult to come by, especially with Yalahar expansion. And I picked up the wrong one because one of them definitely has a mana drain imbuement on them. So we will have to go back to depot at some moment, probably very soon, because I'm using potions, which I don't want to do. We are going to get back to depot and get the proper sword out. Yeah, in case anybody here is new, which is unlikely to be honest, I have a whole series of videos on YouTube following the adventures of Skogul the Ironclad. I have once achieved all the reasonable things that could be achieved on a free account. Well, I did skip most of the bestiaries, I didn't care for all the rares, as in the steel bolts, they were available from Grorlam. I never got to kill that boss all that much, even though it's very common. I just never got lucky, really. There's also the dwarven armor, dwarven helmet. All of these things are technically possible, but also out of work. So those are the things that I skipped. I did get the war axe, which is my prime achievement. I was able to kill a bunch of lost bashers, which are some of the strongest enemies available on a free account. Well, where? Before Yalahar expansion got added. And I got one of the rarest drops from them, being the war axe. So if you're interested in the whole process, definitely go to my channel, check out the playlist. I have other stuff as well. I have an Ironman who has been only allowed to pick up items that spawn on the ground as part of the map. Yeah, it's okay, Pop, like I said. Today is definitely Tibia only. I just got so bored with Monk. I don't know how everybody else feels about it. Judging from how the world map looks right now, a lot of people are excited for Monk, a lot of people are trying it, but are they going to stick around? I don't know. I myself couldn't really do it for more than 2 hours, even though I spent so much time skilling that character. I don't know, skilling is fun. You just chill, hit one thing over and over. Actually leveling the character also wouldn't be a problem. The most glaring issue I have with it is I don't know how to get more gear. I know there's a quest involved, but looking for that quest doesn't really seem reasonable. Hi, ticket. Yes. Oh, I was too quick to type ticket. Okay. Yeah, it's a hassle, and again, if all the unlocks on Monk are related to, you know, just making a quest, and by quest I really mean clicking on a shrine in an area that is probably very easy to reach. I don't know, I'm really not excited for that. And I'm pretty sure my audience can mostly relate. Quite disappointing. I really hoped to see a whole list on the wiki of items that you can drop. Yeah, there we go, 4 hours of void, that's what we needed. And I'm going to, just in case, grab a couple of potions. Okay, those are inventory potions, so let's get 15. We are unlikely to need them with life rings and void, but we'll see. Yeah, that's a lot of players, by the way. You don't often see that many. Do you still remember which way to go? Yes, I do. Perfect. Yeah, so that little tick next to that poison spider we just saw, it's one of the new mechanics added to Tibia. It's called Exaltation Forge. Basically, you can upgrade items by combining 2 of the same item in order to have a chance to improve them to a higher tier. To do that, you have to kill influenced creatures. We have that little blue tick next to them. If you collect 100 of whatever drops from them, it's called dust, creature dust, whatever. You can upgrade items. As a free account, you can't do any of that though, so you won't be worried about it. But what we did was, we killed one of the creatures that somebody would have probably benefited from, and we got nothing from it in return. Just another bit of excellent design from Cipsoft. Oh yeah, all free accounts can now kill a demon, which is the ultimate dream of every free account Ironman. At least it was for the longest time. It's still for me. Being able to kill a demon as a free account, really cool. And not only demon, there's a lot of other cool creatures that you can kill. There's serpent spawns, there's... yeah, mostly serpent spawns to be honest. There's behemoths, destroyers, nightmares, grim reapers. Yalahar is really nice. I mean, yeah, I really hoped that Cipsoft would one day finish, or at least, I don't know, fix, whatever is the case, with the quest that is beyond the Spike Sword quest. You guys probably know the one. There's this Spike Sword quest where you have to go just south of Mount Sternum, just south of the Dwarven Bridge. There's a cave. You can use your pick 2 times in order to enter caves that are filled with fire devils at the end of basically a fire devil hell, where you have to survive their hits. You can find a hidden corpse that has a spike sword on it. I most likely don't need to explain it to you guys. It's a pretty well-known quest. But beyond that area, there is a number of dragons that are walled off by a bit of lava, as well as metal bars and magic walls. And I think some players figured out a way to remove either the metal bars or the magic walls, I'm not sure which, but nobody ever found a way to get through that area. Basically, you know, you would need a bridge and you would need to remove the magic walls slash metal bars, whichever cannot be removed at the time. So for the longest time, me and my Ironman friends, we fantasized about that quest finally getting fixed or solved, or whichever is the case. I don't think personally that the quest is real. I think it never really was finished. In any case, we hoped that there would be a demon at the end of the door, which is why as soon as Yalahar got announced as being available for free accounts, we felt hopeful as well as a little bit disappointed, because on one hand we finally got access to demons, which is amazing because that's what we wanted for the longest time, right? Being able to drop the magic plate armor, golden legs, getting the best set as an Ironman, it really is going to feel good as soon as we do that. I didn't personally just yet because I arbitrarily decided to work on life rings, but whatever. But you know, it would have felt so much better if we just got a new area like that with an actual demon, one of the old school areas that you can visit, solve, beat. Oh my god. If they opened up that area, but for monks only, that would be... yeah, I would have no words, quite simply. And again, I know that most of my viewers, as well as myself, and my guys from the Discord, by the way, join the Discord if you like Ironman stuff. We don't do that much anymore, but you're very welcome to revitalize our community. In any case, us, we aren't really into whatever modern Tibia has become. I am certain that whatever modern Tibia is, it has its enjoyers, considering there's always a player base, people willing to play and willing to pay. Oh my, the Demon Blade, what is it called? I think it's like Demon Bane Sword, something like that. It's a really good looking sword. I've been working on some sprites recently for different OTSs, and I have to say, yeah, I'm going to take off this life ring. It's a little bit wasteful right now. There's no in between. You can either be a little bit too low on mana with a life ring on, or you can be wasting mana with void imbuement. Anyway, what I was saying is Tibia sprites are really impressive, considering all of those sprite items. They are 32 on 32 pixels. They look so detailed, there is so much stuff in them. And keep in mind, because recently we've been looking into AI solutions, and AI, yes, it can generate some pretty good sprites, but still, Tibia had those sprites way before AI got introduced, and a lot of them are looking really, really crisp. For example, there's this armor, I think it's called like Noble Robe, something like that, I can't remember anymore. Maybe I can find it in Encyclopedia actually. Noble armor, cape. Yeah, never mind. I'm probably not going to find it. Let me check quickly. Oh, it's not noble, it's native. Native armor. There you go. Look at this. This is 32 pixels on 32 pixels. Can you see? There's like this upper gold portion that is consisting of like golden scales or something like that. The lower part is also patterned into this like sketchery thing. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to create a sprite like that? Especially when it's 32 on 32 pixels. I've been trying to replicate some of that. Oh yeah, it's Demon Rage Sword, by the way. Good to catch up. Yeah, spriting isn't easy. Whatever modern Tibia is doing, it's really amazing. But at the same time, that's like the only thing that I like about modern Tibia. They have some really nice sprites, but most of their decisions aren't exactly up to par. Yeah, Yalahar free account expansion, that was amazing. But other than that, we're really falling off. Also, I should probably edit the title. But yeah, let's rename it to Tibia's New Vocation, but it was so boring. We are back to Ironclad. Save. In case anybody new is joining, hoping to take a look at Monk, let's try not to deceive them. It's Ironclad again. Which seems to be a pattern when it comes to my streams and videos and series. Yeah, if there is one thing that I will never be bored of, it definitely has to be just hunting Deepling Scouts over and over. You can probably see I'm not even thinking too much about the game. Usually when I am too focused on something that's important to me, I tend to stop speaking. When hunting Deepling Scouts, I don't even use my brain. It's sort of muscle memory. I remember how to walk around the map, I know when to heal, I know pretty much everything about this place. They drop a lot of money. If you're a paladin, you can hunt them for free because they drop hunting spears, which are basically good enough to hunt them. My Fairies only character. Well, the problem with Fairies only guy is this. The progression was kind of cursed. We were able to drop all of the items, and we were on a good track to drop all of the items, all of the upgrades, pretty early into the game, right? I think we already had the stuff. I think we already had Boost of Haste, maybe not, I can't remember anymore, honestly it was a while back. But the thing is, even though we had a lot of the items, a lot of the upgrades, we weren't able to equip them until like 30 or 40 more levels. So the most interesting part of the challenge being, you know, finding a way to hunt in fairies on a very low level, we beat that part. The fun part of dropping upgrades, we already had some of that. And what was left was a lot of just getting levels, arbitrarily just hunting over and over in order to raise our level threshold so that we can equip some of these items. And why would we want to equip them? Just to, I don't know, hunt faster? It just didn't feel fun anymore, so that is the main reason why we aren't continuing the guy. He's still there. I didn't do anything with that character, so if we ever feel like it, we might come back to it. But currently, I don't miss that character at all. The fun that was to be had with him has already been had, at least in my opinion. Oh yeah, I have thought about creating some sort of RPG narrative stuff for Tibia for a while, but to be honest, I don't know if I want to get involved so much. This is supposed to be a hobby. I feel like if I were to host my own server or stuff like that, it will be way too much work. And I have a bunch of good colleagues who all have their own projects at the moment, so I'm more into supporting them rather than doing something on my own. Thank you, Vespasian. Yeah. It's probably a bit of a spoiler, but sooner or later I'm going to release the video. And I don't think anybody is going to be surprised to find this on my feed. It isn't much of a mystery as to where I got them from. So yeah, like I said, I rose in. Tibia used to have amazing RPG potential, but I'm just not into it, to be honest. It takes time, it takes effort, and I don't know, I'm sort of lazy, to be frank. This is supposed to be a hobby, so I only do this when I feel like it. And if I don't feel like it, I don't do it, which is which probably explains the state of my upload schedule pretty well. If I wanted to become famous or profitable, I would have never done any Tibia content, obviously. If I want to do something very creative and something that requires a lot of effort, it's definitely not going to be Tibia related. Oh yeah, like I mentioned just a moment ago, deeplings are my most favorite hunt, and they are amazing for free accounts. They drop life rings, they drop a lot of money, it's pure profit, it's good EXP, and pretty much anything you could desire. Oh yeah, most OTSs are just either we came back to the older version, which you are going to like for the first week because it's nostalgia, but then you're going to give up on it, or they are we added some custom content that makes Sipsoft's idea a little bit more interesting because we added this and this twist, but at the end of the day it's all the same. Meanwhile, what me and my people think about Tibia is we like the RPG element of it, right? We like to explore maps, we like lore, even though most players don't even know Tibia has lore, which is pretty ridiculous to me. Tibia has some pretty interesting lore, even the modern pieces. But if you're interested in that, just go to r/solving_tibia on Reddit, hosted by S2W Stewie /Coney Island. A lot of interesting reads if you're into some heavily autistic ramblings on Tibia lore. If you have a couple of free hours and just want to read up on theories and whatever was written into these games. Well, lore. I don't know any synonyms for lore. Excuse me for repeating that word over and over. Yeah, just like you say, Arzin. A lot of people don't really care about lore. Meanwhile, Sipsoft have been pretty consistent with their lore. They have been expanding on mysteries that have spanned for a long time. For example, there's these new areas called the Summer and Winter Courts, where you battle some crazed elves, I think. Most people just, rush through these things just to get access because it's some pretty good EXP on higher levels. But actually, that is a solution for a long mystery that became a thing a long time ago, where we learned from some books, I think, about the different kinds of elves, where there used to be a clan of elves that were masters of dream magic, and they just disappeared one day. So apparently all of those elves are the elves we meet in the dream courts, and we are basically within a dream realm, something like that. Once again, r/solving Tibia. A lot of interesting lore, just read up on it, get engorged, I highly recommend. Hi Cybulex, yes, all of my lives are saved automatically, so just go to my channel on YouTube. There should be just out there to watch back again. So yeah, mixed feelings as always. Sipsoft is pretty good at sprites, at making quests, but the basic gameplay loop, I don't really enjoy it that much anymore. Playing as an Ironman is a way to go around it, but it feels like they're trying so hard to make Ironman even more miserable than it already is. you know, with level restrictions on items. I mean, that part is understandable. They have stuff for level 500 plus at this point. Not having level requirements would be a little bit ridiculous. But class requirements on items, especially items that aren't supposed to be used by a certain class. I think everybody here should know about my melee paladin, right? That I have locked to Svargrund, Skogul the Barbarian. Check me on YouTube, the good series. I have a paladin whom I have only used club, with whom I have only used club to fight. I have like 15 distance fighting or whatever it is. Fairly low anyways. So the reason why I am quite limited on that character is a lot of weapons like these. There we go, giant sword, a very classic item, super old, has been in Tibia pretty much from the very beginning. It can only be wielded properly by knights. Why would they? What for, right? If you are going to ever implement any limits like this into your game, you probably want to have a good reason, right? Is there some sort of game-breaking thing you could do with a paladin or a sorcerer or a druid if you put on a giant sword? Probably not, because you're supposed to be using wands. These wands increase your magic level, they allow you to shoot from a distance, and this is a 200 weapon with 22 defense. You're probably better off equipping some 100 weapon with a shield. It just seems so arbitrary and unnecessary. And the worst part is, a lot of these weapons, I mean some of these weapons, don't even have a limit. There's a lot of swords, clubs and axes that don't have a limitation when it comes to classes. So there's clubs that you can wield as any vocation, which is what I did as my paladin in order to be, you know, at all successful. But it's like this minefield of weapons that seem cool, seem achievable, but then you realize they're knights only, so you can't really enjoy them. Yeah, so if you go to Ironclad 7, when you go to r/solving Tibia, there is one guy, the owner of the subreddit basically, who claims to have solved the Beholder language. And while it is not solved, I think it is a pretty reasonable conclusion that he has drawn. Obviously, a lot of people have disagreed with him because, well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but basically he says, based on a lot of evidence, that seems rather convincing to me, he says that the Beholder language is not supposed to be ever solved. And I think I am inclined to believe him, since he was able to solve other languages that are in the game. Beholder language is just not, you know, not something that's supposed to be ever translated. In any case, it's a nice, interesting and long read. You can at least see his opinion on things. If you disagree, that's fine. That's what discussion is for. But indeed, there is a lot of unfinished things that Cipsoft has done and just seemingly abandoned. But then again, there's this one precedent, so let's get over the whole topic. First of all, seemingly unfinished quests, right? For example, on Rugard, there's the Spike Sword, the Sword of Fury. There is a way to make that sword disappear from its isle, right? And we don't know if it was supposed to be a quest ever, or if it's just that, you know, a way to make the Spike Sword disappear from its island. But it is there, and has sparkled so much discussion among players, especially Rookstayers. We might never know the truth, whatever the idea behind that was. There's other unfinished quests, like the one we just mentioned a while ago, above that Spike Sword quest. Quite a coincidence. But on mainland, right, with the Fire Devils, with that corridor, that has dragons in it and leads further in, that nobody knows what's behind it because there's no way to reach it. There's a lot of those things that seem like unfinished quests, and there used to be one thing about Beregar, I think, is it called? The Yalahari Dwarven City. There's a whole quest line related to that, where you might be able to gain access to the city and the outskirts and a very complicated net of minecarts. So in Beregar, there used to be a quest, I mean still is, where you are able to connect the minecart system to Khazad-dûm. And that thing did not work ever, like people decided that it's probably impossible. And it turned out that after many years after release, Cipsoft realized that it was bugged, it was supposed to work, but it didn't. And they just casually thought nobody figured it out. So the question is, do they even play their own game? Because, you know, if they don't, then a lot of these things that maybe they think they are just so good at making difficult quests that some of them never get solved. It's a possibility. I'm sorry, Pop, but truth behind the sword. I think everybody has solved it at some point, right? If you want the lore-related truth to Sword of Fury is this. There's this character in Edron called Avatar. He's a hero-looking guy, and he says that it's his sword and he tossed it onto the island. So the lore explanation is just that, it's Avatar's sword. He used it on Rookguard, nobody knows how he got it there, probably cheats. Oh yeah, I mean, references are references. At some point in many games, references become their own thing. I know for a fact that Tibia has a lot of references to Ultima Online and old Ultima games, and a lot of other things as well. But, you know, when creating a piece of, well, basically RPG lore, that was Tibia back in the day, you're obviously going to do references a lot, but turn them into their own things. So even though you know what they are a reference to, doesn't exactly mean you've solved it. It rarely has any answers, and oh yeah, sure. Let's jump on Discord. I wouldn't mind having somebody to talk to. Hello, hello? I don't know if you're not too quiet. I'm going to boost it to 200% for a while. Hello, hello?
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me all good?
I can hear you, but I feel like you're way too quiet.
I'm way too quiet, you say. I'll check if I can make it louder. Let's see. Okay, can you hear me now better?
No, it's exactly the same.
What? It's exactly the same, seriously.
Yeah. And I already turned you up to 200% on Discord.
Yeah, I don't think I can make it more without, you know.
Wait,
Microphone up my ass.
I'm going to get the mixer involved. Just a moment, guys. There's mixer. Let's see, where's Discord? No, Discord is also to the maximum. I don't know how to do this.
Well, it's weird.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to work tonight. Actually, you're only getting more and more quiet.
What?
Yeah, you're barely audible at this point.
Maybe, maybe your audio is pushing me down or something. I don't know.
I mean, it shouldn't. Oh well.
I mean, technically it shouldn't, but I mean, no, wait. I'll try to think if I can make myself louder. Anyhow.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is I make everything quieter, turn up Discord, and then mess with OBS settings so that everybody is on the same level. But I feel like that's going to be a little bit too much. It's going to ruin my setup, which is very delicate, because like I said, my microphone has terrible gain.
I'll try to make it louder somehow.
Yeah, so please stand by while we...
Things and I'll try to...
Yeah. Just let me know if you want me to try to verify if you're loud enough anymore. Oh nice, we're at 285 life rings. That is a nice amount. The game plan for today, Calmilos, I don't know, we are just going to be walking around this dungeon, killing deepling scouts, because that's what I like doing. We were going to be playing on a monk, but frankly, that class is so uninteresting to me. I just decided I'd rather continue playing on my Ironman. But I changed the title of the video, right? It used to be Tibia's new vocation, but we're an Ironman. Now I switched it to Tibia's new vocation, but it was so boring, we are back to Ironclad. I think we are pretty transparent with what we are.
Yeah, I have everything at maximum for my microphone. Literally everything.
Here's the thing, Arzen. I don't think there is a single place in Tibia where you can go under a waterfall. Is there? Maybe I am missing something. Maybe there's some quest with a hidden area where you can literally walk under a waterfall. But I am quite certain water has been quite the obstacle for our characters for the longest time. Oh my god, somehow you have gone even quieter.
What?
Yeah, I can barely hear you at this point. You're like an echo. So here's the fun thing that I like to do on my characters, where wherever I am, in some specific region or area that I want to remember, I like to grab some alcohol or some other liquid from there. For example, on my Skogul the Barbarian character, I have a water skin of mead that you can find as a quest item. I mean, it's in a quest, it's basically useless, but you open a quest chest and you get that along with other items. So I carry that around with me everywhere. And on Skogul the Ironclad, I have this bottle of wine. I am not going to go into details why it is here. Hopefully I remember that when I create the next video, because it's a pretty funny story. If anybody can give me a good guess, I'm going to explain it, but I doubt you guys can figure it out. In any case, let that be our little game for now, if you can discover the origins of this bottle of wine. Thanks, Porsche. I like my Fargrun series a lot as well. The issue is, originally I wanted to finish it pretty quickly, as in my final goal was going to be killing Yakcho, who is probably one of the strongest bosses that you can reasonably solo in Svargrund. But then, while hunting Yakcho, I figured out not only the system, how to kill her, but also I discovered there's a whole community of boss hunters and other rare bosses all around Svargrund, and I got into boss hunting, which is a whole rabbit hole, and it kind of killed my desire to play, because all I did for a couple of good months was stay around, just watching for bosses, you know, not hunting, not getting items, not nothing, just standing in a single spot hoping I see that teleport sign and a boss spawns on me. It was a lot of work and not exactly a lot of payback for all of my effort. And then in the middle of all that I realized if I want to go for like absolute peak, there is something I could do. I probably spoke about this before. So Yakchol as well as Zushuka, the two Ice Witch bosses in Svargrund, they can drop the Queen's Scepter, which is a club with some decent stats. I think it's a little bit weaker than the Blessed Scepter that I have, which is a club you get from the Barbarian Arena. However, what is different about the Queen's Scepter is it is a tier 3 weapon. If you're unfamiliar with tiers, basically different weapons, they have different tiers depending on their rarity. For example, Giant Sword is a classification 2. Yeah, it's not tier, it's classification, which means it can be upgraded to tier 2 in the Exaltation Forge. And the Queen's Scepter is one of a very limited amount of items that are classification 3, which means it would be technically possible to upgrade it to tier 3. And tiered weapons, they have an additional crit chance, something like that. Long story short. So what I decided was I definitely want to get a Queen's Scepter so many times so that I can upgrade it to tier 3. I spent a lot of time working on it, and I don't even have a single one just yet. So I am extremely dry on that, which made me take a long break from playing Barbarian.
Right, can you hear me any better now?
Bob, I hate to say this, but
Jesus Christ, okay, I have a last thing to try.
it's just as quiet as last time, but you're also breaking up. Yeah, it seems that we won't be talking to Pop much today. Man, there is nothing quite as relaxing as just slapping Kipling Scouts. I could do this for days. Yeah. Pop definitely has the information, but Zipsoft and the government are trying to suppress him. He was just about to let us know how to get it, but he's just gone.
Skogul, can you hear me now?
No?
I think it's your settings, because I literally changed microphone.
I don't know, it sounds the same as last try, basically.
Yeah, I think your audio is suppressing me somehow.
Maybe it is, but I don't know.
I changed the microphone. I have like very awful microphone. Like right now, I'm talking literally to the microphone.
But I don't know. We did streams where we spoke before. I had random people just join in, and everybody was good quality. I have no idea what could have gone wrong.
Did you check the OBS settings? Is it the low on OBS maybe?
I honestly have only 2 channels. It's my microphone and PC sound.
Alright, fuck it, I'll just write it out, I guess.
Yeah, if you want, frankly.
Yeah, good luck, yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, sorry guys, we won't be learning much about the Sword of Fury audibly, but if anybody cares about that, Pop promised to type it out, so... Yeah, he sounded doubled up, right? I have no idea what's going on anymore. Yeah, he was like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. In any case, yeah, Too bad. I was hoping someone would save me the trouble of speaking all the time by myself. I really like having somebody to talk to during my streams. I'm not exactly the kind of person who can infinitely come up with stories and things to entertain people with. I tend to devolve over time into just, you know, focusing on the game and being quiet. But we will see. I've been doing a pretty good job so far. Oh, would you look at that? Level 2 deeply scout. Alright guys, we are getting the truth. So let's see. Basically, the idea is Nightmare made Rugard in patch expansion, same expansion, added Plains of Havoc Dragon Lair ornament. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Is it any better?
Kinda quiet still.
Yeah, I'm literally joined from my phone. If it's the same, then it's on you.
Yeah, has to be me. There's no way I have you turned out to 200% and you're still too quiet.
Yeah, it must be this. Yeah, no, I tried.
Oh well, yeah. Thanks for trying. So in any case, back to what you typed. Same expansion at the place of Havoc Dragon, Lair, Ornament Shield quest and Spike Sword quest. Right, so at the same time, right, he added Ornamented Shield, not sure if it is that related, but Spike Sword and Spike Sword. Where do you want to go with this? Keep in mind you're being very heavily scrutinized by a bunch of veterans. And people who aren't easily impressed. Yeah, both for pick hole only. Okay. And both had no in-game information about them, but there was something. Amber's notebook had a name. Yeah, Amber's notebook is a whole rabbit hole on its own. But I think you mean Tark, right? Man, this is such good music. Very nice vibe. Yeah, Tark. So, in case anybody is interested, Tark is a very interesting character in Tibia lore. Again, I would recommend reading up on the details in r/solving Tibia, but basically Tark is a character in Tibia universe who has died sometime before the events of the game that we know of. And he's a well-known dragon slayer. Yeah, basically what Pop typed, right? There's a reference to Khazur-dûn. He used to be a great warrior who loved dragon ham, and he used to hunt dragons on Plains of Havoc. Yeah, and there's some direct information that says he died in Plains of Havoc as well. And coincidentally, Plains of Havoc is where you find an ornament shield. Wait, what? I don't get that part. One Rugard reference showing us that there's a name in Rugard that helps you find the body with pickaxe. Does it help? In what way does Tark help you? Yeah, so in 6.2, Tibia added big holes I don't know, man. Yeah, he definitely is a name in Amber's notebook, but does he in any way direct you to finding the pickaxe? Pickaxe quest in Rugard is basically go to Oldie, ask about pickaxe. He says, give me a small axe, you do, and you have it. Yeah, true. Amber is pretty much the only Tibia character outside of those random mentions in Khazad-dûm that seems to be acquainted with Tark. There is one thing that 6.2 added. What is it, baby? The wolf quest that taught you to use pickaxe to get to the key. Wolf quest? I don't think I'm familiar. Which one is it? Oh, okay, it was removed later. That's why I don't know about it. The key used to spawn daily in the body of a wolf. Okay. Right, I should probably continue saying things even though I am very interested in whatever Pop is saying. I have to keep the audience interested because maybe some people don't care for all that. Right, so that update also added Spike Sword. Yeah, and there is Dolheim, the NPC who guards the northern gate to Rugard, or rather, not really a gate, but a bridge, which is a funny choice, but I guess creatures can't really climb bridges. And it's, yeah, it used to be a thing, it isn't anymore, but you were able to ask Dolheim about his sword and he would say that he has a spike sword and with that he can slash a cyclops in two with a single hit. And then it was confirmed that Nightmare added Plains of Havoclair Hidden Big Hole at the same time as the Spike Sword quest. So in 6.2 Tibia, Nightmare hid 3 quests that required picking holes with your pickaxe. Yeah, that makes sense. So if I'm guessing correctly, where you're going with this is Spike Sword used to be a pick hole related quest, but on Rugard it was never solved and I guess it doesn't exist anymore. The problem is on Rugard everybody pretty much pick holed the entire map over and over. Yeah, Sword of Fury, Spike Sword surrounded by flames. Where do you find a Spike Sword? In the mainland? Well, it is in the Fire Devil Hell, basically. As flamey as you can get. Oh, back in the day, Sipsot hated Rookstayers. Why? Why would they? Right. Oh, well, I guess they were sort of right, taking away spaces from other players. Yeah, fair enough. I can see how a Sipsot could take issue with rook stairs, considering it was supposed to be a training area, and you don't really get any training by just being given items and arriving at cleared out quests. Nobody has to learn about anything really. One last clue. Okay, let's hear it. Brass armor used to be a drop from Minotaurs before 5.2, so just before Rook Guard patch. And they literally removed brass armor from Rook Guard so they could add Minotaurs to Rook Guard. Okay, that also makes sense. Minotaur is a pretty iconic Rook Guard creature. Imagine if they didn't add that. And keep in mind in that version there weren't that many different creatures, so they really didn't have a lot of other options. So I suppose still a very weird balancing choice. I cannot imagine that in that version of Tibia they really cared about how balanced Rook Guard is. Do you think they decided, okay, let's say 12 armor is the maximum we can give anybody a Rook Guard in order for them to have fun? And that's why they removed brass armor from Minotaurs? I don't know, that seems so random. Yeah, if they cared enough to remove brass armor from Minotaurs, they probably wouldn't care. I mean, they wouldn't be willing to add Spike Sword as a option, right? Yeah, that's way too much of a jump in power. Maybe something slightly stronger, but a Spike Sword over Katana, when they apparently cared about balance enough to remove brass armor. Oh yeah. So basically the sign saying that only the humble may touch the Sword of Fury does not involve Rook Stairs, essentially. Yeah, I can see how that's just a personal poke. Hey, but one, yeah, that's a lot of deeplings, and I intend on killing a lot more. My goal currently is to get to 1000 life rings. If there is anything that's important on a free-to-play Ironman night, it's to keep your mana topped off. And one of the best ways to do this is to keep a life ring on, as well as energy drain imbuements, but those are a little bit more costly. Meanwhile, life rings, farming for them at Deepling Skulls is just pure profit. Yeah, so what you're saying is the Spike Sword on Rook Guard is basically a very, very, very indirect reference to the hidden Spike Sword in that Fire Devil area, and it was never supposed to be obtainable. Yeah, I mean, as a clue, right? If you were supposed to figure out that, oh wow, look, on Rugard there's a spike sword surrounded by flames. Let's, I don't know, find this random peak hole leading to a bunch of fire devils. I don't think that works, right? It's just a similar area. I don't think these things have anything to do. Somebody, I don't know how crazy you have to be to think anybody would be able to draw any sort of relation between these two things. Free spots with Cyclops. I mean, you say it's near, but it's very well far away. There's no Cyclops nearby. It's south of Dwarven Bridge. There's dwarves on the way there. Frankly, I don't think that place has anything to do with Cyclops. Yeah, Jakundaf Desert and Desert Quest being released definitely helped solve that quest with Spike Sword, since, you know, you could just see the area, so it gave you a rough idea that there's something in that direction, and there weren't many places where they could have hidden something like this in plain sight. Still, I think at that time most quests were solved simply because somebody knew one of the GMs. They were shown and they showed other people, etc, etc. Oh my god, Erzin, yeah. Early day Rugard was such a cool experience. I still remember how incredible it was to just get started and ask people to help you with per room, and there would be like a team of 4 or 5 people. One of them got the copper key from their older brother or something, or maybe you bought the key for like 20 GP on the market from somebody who was just leaving. It was really cool. There was a whole economy. I don't know. It was just always something going on in Rugard at that time. Meanwhile, currently, the starter island, being Dawnport, is just all about getting hero level as quick as possible. It feels like everybody there is a bot. Nobody talks to anyone. If you run into somebody, they're just spamming spells, trying to get level 8 as quick as possible and just get out of there. There's no socializing, there's no having fun together. There's nobody trying to sell you a plate, saying that it's the plate shield. Yeah, getting hunted because you were a little bit cheeky. That's some of the best things that Tibia has to offer. I mean, I myself never really played on PvP servers. I remember, because when you were playing on a PvP server, when you formed a party with somebody, you would get this notification over your head, right? And all of your party members. There would be this like shield, right? A yellow shield for leader and blue shields for party members, as well as, if it was a PvP server, you would get this green skull, which basically meant you are free to hurt each other and you won't be involved in the PvP thing, right? So I didn't know that, and I knew that getting a skull over your head means you're a player killer. I was very young at that time, so I was in Rugard. I created this character on a PvP server. I don't know, I think I was trying to look at somebody just to see their level, and I happened to click invite to party, and instantly a green skull appeared over my name, and I got so scared that everybody's going to kill me now because I have a skull, so I'm a PKer. But I just logged out, and I don't think I returned to that character for a good 2 years or more. because it kind of traumatized me. And then when I finally got back to that character, I got level 8, I became a paladin, I went to... No wait, I think I made a druid at that time. And I went to mainland and some random level 9 paladin just speared me down and killed me, and then I quit for good. Never to return to a PvP server. Just getting randomly killed by somebody doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, Paradox Tower wasn't solved until Nightmare personally showed people first solutions and that it's possible to solve. The quest has no lore, no information, no nothing. That is quite correct. I mean, retroactively, when you look at the quest, maybe it makes sense, right? If you know all the clues that were supposed to lead you to it. But just solving the quest organically on your own, I don't think anybody would be able to figure that out. Like, Nightmare, I don't know. His quests are nice, but at the same time, I think he was trying a little bit too hard for what Tibia is. Yeah, I mean, from the way I like to play, right? I like to, you know, create a character, increase my levels, get gear, get stuff, skill, etc, etc. The idea of losing it all because, I don't know, somebody is having a bad day and they decided to kill you doesn't sound fun at all. And you can just not do that, right? You can prevent that option entirely by just playing on a non-PvP. Playing on a PvP server is basically signing yourself up for abuse. Yeah, fair enough. Could very well be one of those unreasonable nightmare hints. Just like you speculated. Yeah, while we are on this topic of asking random NPCs, I don't like it how a lot of dialogue options are, just like you mentioned, update related, as in everyone added in this update is going to have something to say about certain thing, but other people won't, even though they could, right? Just like with Tark. Somebody had the idea of adding a Tark character, suddenly there appears characters who know about Tark, even though he's supposed to be pretty well known by everybody. Oh yeah. I think I only solved Desert Quest properly with a lot of help. Pretty recently, to be honest, because, you know, just going to the room with the proper items, that's easy. But actually finding out what kind of item you need and, you know, just doing the whole quest the way it was designed, that's a whole journey. And there's another quest hidden in there as well. There's, you know, preparing potions, stuff like that. Really cool stuff. And again, a lot of cool information you can find on r/solving Tibia. Wow, I can't stop plugging this shit, but it's good. I don't get paid for this. There we go, another life ring. Originally I was going to keep going until we hit 300 life rings, but I think I am just about done. I haven't spoken this much in a while, so My throat is starting to be killing me. So let's say we clear this area. I'm going to go upstairs and just will slowly start calling it a day. It's been a nice stream. I probably should start streaming more. But before I continue streaming on this character, I just want to be done with the videos. And by videos, I really mean just one video for now. Problem is, my current goal of getting 1000 life rings, it's sort of self-explanatory, right? I'll be just walking circles around here, killing Knitting Skulls. I don't know if that really is stream material, but we will see. Just to rub salt into the wound. The only reason we found Ornament Shield is before Tagor and Ares got info where it is and found Cyclopenia there. Yeah, I mean, it sort of reminds me of when you have a bad tabletop RPG GM, right? Not sure if you guys are into D&D or Warhammer or stuff like that, but whenever you have a game master that tries to be more than he really is, right? As in, he's trying so hard to come up with this cool story with twists and turns and amazing lore. If they're really bad at writing and GMing in general, they will often try to create something that isn't real and tell you that it is something else. As in, they will create a bunch of clues that you have no way of solving yourself, that your characters have no way of solving, and yet when you don't solve it, they will be like, oh yeah, because you and your character are too dumb, but this is it, and then explain it after you've stopped playing. I don't know if you guys have had a similar experience, but sometimes this happens where they created something so convoluted and give so few clues as to what you are supposed to be doing that it's simply impossible to do the right thing, and then they hold you accountable for it. Sometimes Nightmare's quests, they just feel like it. Yeah, true. There's a number of coincidences there. But if it is supposed to be hint as to how to get the item, then oh my god, that's terrible. Alright everybody, hey, I don't wanna go anywhere. Thank you. Okay. So I think we are done with monks for now. Maybe if there's more information online on how to get better gear, but from what I've heard, it's all just visiting statues, getting better items by right-clicking them. Bonk doesn't really seem that interesting to be Ironmaning on, but we will see. Maybe I'll change my mind. For now, I'll be back focusing on my free account, Skogul the Ironclad. Really glad that I didn't purchase any premium to play the Bonk, because yeah, that wouldn't last. And I will just wait a month to get rid of it. In any case, thank you everybody very much for watching. As always, I'm very surprised to see that many old faces as well as new faces just joining me, watching my stuff. Really humbling. Very much appreciate you guys. If anybody wants to keep chatting with Pop, he's probably going to be in chat because he's really popping off. And if you guys are interested in keeping in touch more, I am always active on my Discord. My Discord channel should be linked somewhere, if one of in my channel description or something. I don't know. If it's not, just comment under this stream that you wanna join Discord, and I'll post it once more. In any case, thanks everybody. Good night. Have a great week, and yeah, I might or might not post something soon. You never know with me. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.